We all have the same amount of time. Nobody has more time than anybody else. Nobody has less time than anybody else. What sets leaders apart? People who use their time wisely. Let's take a look at this. What has this been telling you for a long time? Stay away from biotechnology. It's that simple. So this might be the bottom. Why play the mic game? Look for clean and simple base entries out of strength and ride them. Nothing's here. Let's move on. And it's in it, by the way. If I hadn't been talking, you'd look at this and say, biotech. This is all I would say. Biotech's no good. Bye. Go to the next one. That's it. Cloud computing. There's the 200-day. It's below all the moving averages. Nothing's great here. Leave it alone. Electric vehicles lagging. Nothing great here. Okay, leave it alone. This is the inverse ETF. You can see it's kind of moved up a little bit. All right. This is the opposite. I'm going to be really specific here. When the S&P 500 is falling, this goes up in price. It's the inverse of the action of the spiders. There we go. And this is a 2 times leveraged one. QID, when this goes up, it means the NASDAQ is falling. The NASDAQ's falling, or the NASDAQ 100 is falling. This is going up. All right. And you can see it's kind of lifting. What else does it tell you? Be careful. Be careful with a lot of the stocks. Dow Jones Internet, it's not so good, is it? Leave it alone. IBD 50. I mean, the IBD 50 is a great shopping list. The leading stocks, what are they doing? They're dropping. They're hitting lows. They're hitting lows for, you ready for this? They're hitting the lows going all the way back to March of 2000. They're hitting lows. Wait, it eventually turned though. Don't get negative, all right? And there's a reason why. You say, oh, this is the end of the world. Yeah, it looked like the end of the world here too back in 2020. And then all of a sudden you got a really good March, didn't you? Always be prepared. That's very, very important. Nothing to do with it at this point in time. Gold miners lagging, nothing to do with it. Gold lagging, you know, it shows a little life here. Maybe it'll push through the 200-day. Something to watch. This was a good bar, by the way. But this is also indicative of how crummy the market is. Look at this. It goes up and they just take it right back down. Just pressure in a lot of different places. Continue onwards. Biotechnology, just like BBH, it's chopping around, but there's, you know, maybe a double bottom. You're not going to see this pattern in any book saying, this is what you look for, this is it. Now you can say, wait a minute, Pat, this is a double bottom. Double bottoms are more reliable when the stock is near a 50-day moving average line and the 50-day is at least flat, okay? Not dropping. That's a fact. Online retail lagging, hitting lows for the move, nothing to do with it. North American technology bounced a little bit. Pretty rough here, folks. Be careful, okay? Dow Jones U.S. Medicine, right near 52-week lows, nothing to do with it. This is the mid cap, just like MDY. This isn't the best thing since sliced bread, is it? Look at this. Drop on heavy volume, up on less volume, drop on heavy volume. In 1 second, it says, better be careful with mid cap stocks, pretty avoid them. Done. Home construction, dropping like a rock. What's that tell you? In 1 second, stay away from homes construction. S&P 500 growth, hitting lows for the move. Be careful with growth. Small cap, dropping hard. Be careful with the small cap. Airlines, dropping. Okay? That's not good. What's it tell you? Stay away from the airlines. Regional banks, hitting lows. Be careful with regional banks. Mid cap, dropping. Be careful. Oil services was strong. We made good money on energy stocks. And what do we do though? We monitor them. And this was also telling us, be careful. All right? Oil services. Look at that drop. We locked in the gains. Not hard. Oil's still kind of hanging in there. The oil itself, okay? That's decent. That's a plus. Online retail lagging, but it does have a higher low. Maybe it's going to turn. We'll have to see. Infrastructure crumbling. Okay, that's dad humor. I'm sorry. Pharmaceuticals, I think they need drugs. NASDAQ 100, little bit of life here. Little bit of life on Friday. These are lower lows. This needs to show some power. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. We'll be ready. Same thing's true with QLD. Fell on heavier volume on Friday, lows. Cloud computing, really lagging here. There's nothing special there. Silver, you know, it's got a higher low, maybe. It's below the falling 200-day, the falling 50-day. Again, this is not a great setup. Make it simple. Steel dropping, nothing good there. Oil and gas fell through the 50-day on a pickup in volume. Was great through here, and we owned some energy stocks that made good moves. Starts to fall, we don't argue with it. Locked in profits. Semiconductors, not so good. Spiders hitting lows for the move, not so good. SSO, the leveraged one, it's not so good here. By the way, because, oh, this is the end of the world. Right here, this is why we're always prepared. You see that higher low setup? We bought SSO on that run. There you go. And we'll be ready for it. Solar lagging, nothing to do with it. Small cap lagging, nothing to do with it. Uranium, get the Geiger counters out because I think it ain't going anywhere. Oil, USO, United States Oil, hanging in there. What did you notice? Going through this list, what theme did you pick up on? It's like, well, energy still doesn't look too bad. There you go. There you go. Aerospace and defense, not good, folks. Be careful with it. Biotechnology, it had a lift, but golly, it's way down here. It's not leadership. Home builders, they're not even renting them. Materials, how do you build homes with materials? Birds of a feather. The homes are dropping, materials are dropping. It's that simple, connecting the dots. Energy, look at this drop. We were watching all these things and telling us to take profits in energy, which we did. Financials, really lagging. This is a good investing maxim. You like to see financials acting okay, all right? That helps. And right now, they're rough. Industrials, lagging, hitting lows, nothing to do with it. Technology, a little bit of a bounce, but it's been lagging, lows all the way through. Consumer staples, lagging, nothing to do with that. Utilities, dropping hard. They're also interest rate sensitive, okay? You can see this swoon. Don't argue with that. Healthcare, defensive, even healthcare is dropping. You see this? Consumer discretionary, dropping. These are things, I say this every week, but I need to explain. What's consumer discretionary? These are things that you don't have to buy from a consumer perspective, all right? You don't have to buy. Even that's dropping, not good. Metals and mining, lagging, nothing to do with it. Oil and gas, another oil and gas ETF dropping. Retail, lagging, nothing to do with it. Software, hitting lows for the move, nothing to do with it. And back to the top.
Did you know that Mission Winners is more than just a YouTube channel? We have a full-fledged VIP membership site with live chart analysis, live question and answer sessions, live buy and sell alerts, VIP-only Twitter, VIP-only Discord, and thousands of archived educational videos. So if you're ready to begin mastering the charts, head over to missionwinners.com and join us today.
Going through the MAXLIST stocks. MAXLIST stocks, the big name institutional stocks. Apple. What's the trend here, folks? It's down. Got a slight bounce on Friday on a slight pickup in volume, but it's got lower lows. Amazon dropping here a little bit, right? What's the trend? It rallied up, it fell, had a decent bounce on Friday though. Had a pretty good lift on Wednesday. Not a bad close on Thursday, and a pretty good bounce on a pickup in volume on Friday. It's low down here though. Be careful with that. The low on this bar is 104.10, I'm sorry, 101.26. The low on this bar is 101.43. It's close to a double bottom type of pattern. What would it need to do? Lift with a good market on heavy volume. Is there much going on here? Well, I do like that volume that came into it on Friday. But please be careful. Alibaba, this is why we don't chase gap ups in this kind of a market. There were people got all excited about the news and they picked that up, and now it doesn't look so good. Be careful with that, all right? BIDU, gapped up, same situation, pulled back. Maybe it'll start to lift. See if it can take out these highs on good volume. Not overly excited about it. Google, this does have a higher low. This low is higher than this low, okay? You can see it. Put that bar in there, I'm sorry. Put this bar right in here. You can see it, a higher low. Maybe it's going to work, all right? This low is higher than this low. What do you notice? The volume was about the same. What does it need to do? Take out the highs of that bar. I'm gonna go back here and show this again too, all right, on Amazon. Again, this low was higher than this low. This low, a little bit higher than this low. Not by much, but it lifted. We're gonna be specific here. The low on this bar is 101.43. The low on this bar is 101.46. What, 15 cents, 16, 17 cents higher? There you go. Good volume pickup here. Possible. So again, Google, higher low, see what happens. And what do you need on all these, team? I'm going to be brutally blunt. You need the market acting okay also, all right? Here you go. Goldman Sachs, yeah, no, nothing, leave it. MasterCard, there's nothing here, folks. I mean, yeah, it lifted, but this is not a high probability setup. Please be careful with that. I'm just leaving it alone. This used to be Facebook. Okay, well, it's still Facebook. They just changed their name. Lower low, there's no power here. Okay, just be careful with that. Microsoft, higher low, possibility, volume pickup. Downtrend though, be careful with it. Again, the market is rough. The M in Mission Winners is market. Don't argue with the markets. Netflix, yeah, it's nothing special, folks. Basing down here, pretty rough. Just be careful. NVDA, this, see right here, this has a lower low. Okay, this low is lower than this low, so it's not the higher low setup. But you know what it is? It's a double bottom. In the strictest sense, team, and this is a great lesson, and this is for everybody, a double bottom, the right low is lower than the left low. I'm going to draw this for you, okay? We're going to do it on the weekly too, just to show you what I'm talking about. We're going to refresh this to make sure the bars are right. Here we go. I'm going to show you in the strictest sense what a double bottom, it's not a higher low, it's a double bottom setup. And I'm drawing it carefully. This, and I know it's exaggerated on the drawing here, okay? But this low is lower than this low. That is, in the strictest sense, from a textbook perspective, a double bottom setup. What do we want to see? We'd like to see this lift off, take out on the weekly, take out the weekly highs. Now fine tune it down to the daily. This is the real world, by the way. This isn't textbook stuff. Here we go. Now what do you note on the weekly, or the daily, excuse me? You go, well, it had pretty good up volume right here, closed decent, then it gapped down. Why? Because of the market. And then it started to pick up again on a pickup in volume on Friday. Something to take into consideration, okay? There you go. And again, what am I trying to do? Educate people on what to look for. Square, there's nothing, or block, there's nothing there. Tesla, what does Tesla have, folks? Look, I'll do the weekly. Oh, gosh, Pat, yeah, this low is higher than this low. There we go. Didn't have the best close, did it? All right, be aware of that. On increasing volume, they sold into it. Here's the daily. And again, a higher low setup. And had good volume on this bar, right? Pulled back on less volume, lifted up on an inside bar. Perhaps it will lift. This is not a slam dunk setup, so be careful. All right, this is not a clean and simple market environment. It's choppy, it's sloppy, it's riskier. I'm not bearish, okay? I'm just reporting, observing what is. It'd be analogous to say, oh, it's raining outside. Oh, you're negative. No, I'm just observing that it's raining. Oh, it's sunny. Oh, you're always up. No, I'm just telling you it's sunny. That's all. Same thing here. This low is slightly higher than this low, okay? This low is slightly higher than this low. This was a great higher low setup. You see that? There were 3 buys on this for us. This was on the list, the key list. And, you know, 810, 814, 820, all the way up. That's, folks, that's 300 points in 2 weeks. There you go. That's how money is made. We'll watch and see what's there. Now, am I forecasting it's going to do it again? I don't forecast. All I know is after looking at a million charts plus through the years, you hone your eyes and mind on what to look for. And it helps us make money. Yeah, this was on the key list. So we'll see. All right, let's continue onward. Twitter. Now, there's news with Twitter, right? We all know about that with Elon Musk. And so news stories can cause increasing turbulence in a stock, both up and down. Be aware of that, okay? That is not knocking Elon Musk. No, nothing like that. I mean, Tesla's changed lives for people, so it's great. I have no problems with any of it. But just know that if the news changes, it could be good or it could be bad. So you can say, well, then how could you control risk? If you buy it, maybe buy less shares. If it goes, okay, it does have a higher low. This low is higher than this low. And here's the weekly. Oh, there you go. And I'll refresh it for you. So we've got a good chart. Guess what would be good if it was a weekly, wouldn't it? There we go. And I'm going to refresh it just so you can see this. I love teaching this. You can see this low is higher than this low. Maybe it'll go. We'll have to watch it. Same on Tesla, same on Twitter. And we know it's news related, okay? So be aware of that. Be aware. And notice this, it fell on increasing volume Friday. All these are things you take into consideration. And by the way, this isn't rocket science. I'm just looking at the price and volume bars, open, high, low, close, and how did it act in relation to previous bars recently and a couple weeks ago. That's all. Nothing fancy. By the way, did you notice I don't have any oscillators or anything on my charts? Stochastics, MACD, I don't have any of it. Why? Bias enters into your thought processes. What do I look for? And I've been doing this since 1986, okay? The idea, and I manage money. In fact, I'll share this. I managed money through the crash of 87, and all my managed accounts were out before the crash of 87. And I will say this. Who do I give credit to? Martin Zweig, okay? Who I had the great pleasure of meeting, a long time ago, a couple of times. Anyway, great guy. So, what do we have here? Visa, lower low, it's lifting. This is not a slam dunk setup. Be careful with it. Anyway, that is an overview of the MAXLIST.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.